Howdy there, Internet students. It's Mr. Hermanson here again. I just thought I'd go over some of the problems that I think you might have had some difficulties with on your 7.2b Part 1 homework. And just a couple things real quick. This word right here, inclusive, that means that it's going to include the endpoints, these numbers. So you need to have the equal sign in your inequality. Now, the word and means that we can combine them both into one. So start with your smaller number, 28.5, then a less than or equal sign, then a letter to represent whatever you're doing here. In this case, it's the circumference. And then less than or equal sign again, and the bigger number of the two. All right, and then if you graph that, let's just start at like maybe, I don't know, 27, and we want to have halves on here, so I'm going to skip. So I'll go 28 here, 29, so I'm going every 4, 30, that should be good. And then 28.5 would be right there, solid circle. 29 would be there, and then I'm going to draw a line in between. Now, you could also separate this into two. You could say C is greater than or equal to 28.5, and C has to be less than or equal to 29. All right. Moving on here. As you look at these graphs on number 2, this is going to be an AND graph right here. This is going to be an OR because you have two different parts, and this is going to be an AND. So this second one here, let's do this one with the OR in it. So for the left side over here, we're going to have the numbers are to the left of -2, so we're going to say less than -2. Or the numbers are to the right of 1, but they include 1. So we're going to put a greater than or equal to. The last one here, we can combine these into one inequality. Start with your lowest number, which is 3, less than or equal to, because it's a solid dot, then your variable x, and then less than 6, because it's an open circle. All right, these next couple I think you can handle, but on the next page, let's talk about this one here where you have some fractions. Remember, there's a way we can get rid of fractions. You just need the lowest common multiple, so you have to think of these three numbers, 3, 7, 4. What do they all go into? I think that they all will go into a number like, let's see, 4 is 2 times 2, and then you need a 3 and a 7. Pretty much you need to multiply them all together. So 21 times 4 is 84, is actually the smallest number they all go into. So we're going to multiply everything by 84. When I take -4/3 times 84, I get that when I multiply everything by 84. Now we're going to just add 63. And then I'm going to divide everything by 12. And that gives me 12.25 W and -4.25. All right. I thought there's one more I'd go over. This bottom one here is kind of difficult. It's about the triangular inequality. Basically, what they're saying is that any two sides of a triangle, like these two sides, have to add up to more than this side. So that tells you that there's a limit on x. X must be less than 5 plus 9. And then x can't be too small either, because x plus 5, if I add those two sides, they must be more than the third side, which is 9, which means x has to be greater than 4. So we get an inequality like this. 4 is the smallest x can be. And from this inequality here, we get x must be less than 14. So x can be any number between 4 and 14, not including those numbers. All right, I hope you find this helpful, and good luck on today's lesson.